Well, hey everyone. Hey mods. Hey West Coast. I love that you're here today. DS Kitty made it. Meredith Lynn, love her. Hey Barbara Waite. Hey Kathy Burkhart, Lady O, Jennifer Ogle, Lilac Lime. Jennifer Minton. Thank you for your email, babe. I responded. Love you. Hey Donna Cooper. Sarah Kramer made it. Hey, Aloha Sue. Katie Smith. Hey, Buffy. Hey, Rachel. Joanne Hawley. I was wondering about you. Gamma's World. Welcome back. I was like, what happened to her? And people have a life. I understand, but I just wanted to make sure that you weren't gone. Hey, Helena. Hey, Nancy Jane. Marsha Laird. Hey, Marissa Martin. FAFO. Angie Moe. Randy Pearson. Amy Knight. Prayers for you, babe. That's horrible. Hey, MJ. Patty, Liz Tricks, Chrissy Twig, Libby Jackson, Marie Marion. Hey, Sin. Okay, you don't have to rub that in, Nance. Hey, Kathleen, Armine. Thank you, Armine. Ooh, you had a knee replacement. I hope that you're doing well. I've heard those are magical, honestly. I mean, typically quite the success. Buffy, she's over here. You don't see her, but she's here. Hey, Sin. Hey, Loretta Hauser. Honey Lou. Krusty Rabbit Hole, great stream. Lindsay sent me your stream and I was listening to you while I was in the shower. Now I know what that's like. I'd never done that before. You were my first. Broke my shower cherry. Yeah, you were really nice to listen to and I appreciate everything you said. I didn't finish it fully, but I think you've got great insight. So thank you for that. Hey, Wisconsin Barb. Oh, okay. Gamma's World. Sometimes I miss it. Every once in a while, the chat goes too fast. Hey, Callie Galley. Hey, Debbie Zito. Cheap Chick. I hope you're doing well. I want to say you had a loss. Did you have a loss in your family? If you did, I'm really sorry. And if you didn't, I apologize for being wrong. Hey, Jess. Jeannie Hansen. Kim is Blue. I've missed you. I feel like I didn't see you yesterday. I could be wrong on that too. It's really hot, guys. It's hot. Your aunt passed. Okay, I thought so. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, Krusty Rabbit Hole, you got good stuff. Like sometime maybe I was thinking I'd even like to talk to you, but that's awfully entitled, but also I'm pushing myself onto you, and I don't know if you even stream with people. I really like your style. And for me to say I'd like to stream with you is kind of saying a lot. So I hope that doesn't put you on the spot, but sometime I'd like to have a conversation with you. I appreciate the things you say. And I just think that you're very wise, but I understand too, if you don't stream with people. I didn't stream with people for a long time, and I'm still to this day incredibly picky about who I will stream with. Hey, Jackie C. Yeah, MJ. Yeah, so okay, Kim is Blue. I thought I missed you yesterday. It's really, really hot. It's extreme, like, hey, Tennessee girl, heat wave going on, heat warnings. I can't believe I walked down to get my mail today. I was like, this is a mistake. And I thought, yeah, it's a mistake. Renee B, I'm sorry you're feeling horrible, babe. Is it still your tuberculosis medication? It's terrible. Yeah, I'm paying close attention to my animals. Everyone, I hope you all are. Your kids, Huxley, I'm making sure that he's not overheating. I'm on my third one of these. I'm drinking electrolytes. Huxley's drinking electrolytes, and everybody's, as you can see, I'm just really watching their time outside. Same with the cats. But my AC isn't staying. I don't know if that's normal, but I don't want to complain because remember last summer it just quit working. It's 79 degrees in here and I have it set at 75 and it's not keeping up, but it's still blowing. So at least there's something. Hey, King's kid. So I'm not going to complain. Last summer we had real issues with that thing. Thanks, Liz Tricks. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, okay, Krusty Rabbit Hole, no pressure from me. And again, that was quite bold of me even to say it. I felt very drawn. I also liked that Toddy One skip. She asked me to come on and stream with her. And I'm feeling that out. I would do that with her as well. I think she's very wise and has great insight on things, but I really just enjoy the way you talk and your observations on things. So maybe someday down the road, maybe someday down the road. Doesn't have to be now. Yes, Kim is Blue. It is really, really hot. Again, just everybody pay attention to yourselves, your signs. I don't usually drink water, and I'm not having a problem at all drinking water. I'm not hungry, but I am thirsty. Hey, Neptunes. I keep refreshing the animals' water just to make sure it's cold. Um, yeah, Tammy, not letting my dogs out much. It's just I try not to think about days like this when it's either really super hot or in the winter when it's really super cold because my mind goes into dark places like people who tie up their animals and like leave them outside all day. I try not to think about that kind of a thing because then I get really upset with everything. Prayers for your sister for sure, Kim Leaf. Wow, that's terrible. Let us know. Yeah, crusty rabbit hole. Just no pressure. I just think you're great. Um, so yeah, MJ, I made that mistake. I actually turned my AC up pretty high. I don't know if it's the GLP-1 medicine I'm on, but I get cold easily. So I don't have my AC cranked down. Hey, baby lily pad, I keep it set high. And MJ, you were exactly right. I realized that today that I had it set too high and now it's trying to keep up. So when it hits overnight tonight, I'm going to bring it down lower so that tomorrow morning, um, it's anyway, you get it. So I had therapy today, and hey, weird wig. Um, I'm in a weird place. I haven't stopped thinking about the conversation that we had, and I've talked to Tommy at length about it today, and just then right before I went live, I was outside with the animals and I brought them back in and I started thinking about this just minutes ago before I went live and the title of this. Hey Sophia, thank you. Hey Dawn Paraso. I have a question for you guys before we get into the topic I want to talk about. This is a weird question and a very simple basic question, but it really occurred to me about 10 minutes ago. What is your definition of spiritual or spiritually? Weird wig, I am. And thank you again for the stuff you sent Huxley on the wish list and me and the dogs. What is your definition of that spiritually? The reason I bring this up is because do you ever notice over the course of your lifetime, do you ever hear people go, I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual, I'm spiritual? To me, there's different definitions of it. What does it mean to you? Not to say I'm spiritual, just what does spiritually or spiritual mean to you? I'm really quite curious. Hey, Alicia, because it occurred to me. Hey, Sigbeats, thank you. It occurred to me that, see, I don't know if I agree with this. I actually, that's a definition. That's not the one I'm looking for. Spiritual means not faithful to a religion or God. I agree with that. A relationship with a higher power. Okay, neither of those are wrong. Being willing to look inside. That's an interesting definition. I don't mind that at all. My therapist dropped me. I told her I thought it was wrong that religion taught master, okay, was to sin, and she said she didn't think that anymore. That's weird, Katie. You got the wrong therapist. God has helped me in so many ways. I love the blessings I've received. Me too. I feel the exact same way about that. To me, it's the belief that something greater than us exists. I like that. It means different things to different people. That's a great point. So, hey, baby steps, I feel bad for my son-in-law who's working, in Nashville in the Titan Stadium. I think they were off early today. He isn't used to the humidity. Okay, baby steps. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that for him. I'm concerned about anybody who's not used to this kind of heat. It is extreme, but I don't think it's going to be like this all summer. So that's good news. I think this is like a heat wave in general. But yeah, we'll be thinking about him. And thank you for super chatting that. We have the same heart for animals. Jackie, hugely. Animals are at the top of my list. I love animals so much. Thank you for your super chat. Spiritual to me, says Neptune's, is the understanding that there is more to us than the body and the mind. I like that a lot. I feel spirituality is my connection to God, but not religion. Okay. And Buffy says, Google says the Bible being spiritual means living under the guidance and power of the Holy Spirit rather than following human nature or worldly desires. Okay. So then I guess I'm kind of wrong. I had those definitions too, but Krusty Rabbit Hole says, as a paranormal researcher, I see spiritual to me is communicating with a world outside our physical world. Okay, that's kind of where I was more leaning toward. And thank you for saying that. Even I'm going to narrow it down. I would say choosing to have an actual connection to an idea of faith. Okay. Again, I get the faith side of it, but I was thinking of a different definition. Greater power, not a single name. I think Mother Nature runs the world, not a solitary being. Interesting. Animals are my favorite creation next to the ocean. Ooh, I like that, Nancy. I could see that about you. For me, I was raised Catholic, but I'm not active in church. So I have my beliefs and consider them spiritual versus religious. Yes, I knew that about you. Hey, Abigail. I look at it as connecting with something larger than myself. You can be spiritual and religious, also spiritual and not religious. That's very true. But here's what I was thinking. Hey, Caroline in Canada, all of you were right. I'm not here to correct anyone anyway. It's not what I do. But to me, spirituality is someone's personal sense of a higher power, a connection to something and search for meaning in it. I like that a lot. Thanks, Sigbeats. Yeah, these are $5 at Target, these tanks. And I like it too. I like the ring tanks and teas. Spirituality more focused on inner peace of the mind and soul. No, I don't know what that word is there. But I don't disagree with that at all. Connection to your faith more independently rather than through strict religious doctrine and ceremony. At least that's how I see it from people in my life who I believe in God but no longer go to church. Yeah, Helena, I don't disagree. Hey, Jeannie, I don't disagree with that either. Tennessee Girl says it's a connection to God. The Holy Spirit helps to connect us to God. I agree with that definition. And Sin says a human experience concerning meaning, purpose, and a sense of connection to something larger than oneself, according to Google. Interesting. Okay. Hey, Mrs. Patty Cake. The reason I ask is I feel like, and I'm probably going to be wrong here, but I'm willing to be wrong. I don't mind if I'm wrong. Hey, Marianne. What a nice thing to say. Hey, Rip Curl. Hey, Ruby. Hey, Nicole Hazel Miller. So Marianne says, you inspire me to grow and be resilient despite the challenges that life throws at you. That is again, that's why I do a stream almost every day, Marianne. Thank you for saying that. Welcome over, babe. And I just, anytime a person feels inspired to do anything, whether big or small, I just really love that. And especially if you took a piece of something from these streams to do that. So thank you. To me, it's more about my personal connection to God versus organized religion. I'm with you there, Meredith Lynn. Guys, is there another definition? Because now I'm about to look stupid, but I feel like, what about spiritual between us? Wow. Thank you, Big J. God bless you and your family. What a nice thing to say. Thank you, my friend. That's very kind. I don't recognize you. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. Spirit, spiritual, spirits, spirit. You are a spirit. I am a spirit. This is not Scientology. This is really what I believe, even though Scientology pushes that kind of stuff. I believe, could we be spiritual between each other? Yeah, like a kindred connection. Yes, Katie Smith, exactly. Thank you, FAFO. Thanks, Sigbeats. I'm glad you noticed. I see the spirit world as like a radio station. Our physical world is a different radio station, but just because we don't hear the other radio station, it doesn't mean it's not there. Great points. And I see that too. Am I asking if we're all connected? No, it's not that, because I know we are. But I guess, hey, Skeeter, what I mean is, I think most important aspect of it is that it's your own personal internal thoughts, feelings, ideas. Yes, I agree with that. Hey, Laureen Brown, we are infused with spirit and inhabited by soul. Very much so. But I guess what I'm saying, because it got me thinking about my therapy today, the Zoom call Sunday, I really kind of unloaded some stuff in the Zoom call. To me, and I don't want to get weird, but that was spiritual, but not in a heavy way. What I mean by that is, if I really get to know you and you are in my inner circle and I'm comfortable telling you deep things about my life or how I feel about another, or, oh, Big J is your husband, Jason. Caroline and Canada, I knew your husband's name was Jason. I just didn't put the two together. Well, tell him thank you again. I love that. I love when your husband stops in. Barbara, for sure. But here's what I'm saying. If I talk to you and I'm like, work is good, things are fine, good, things are good, and I just keep it on the surface, I'm not really opening up to you spiritually. And I think when I say and I go deep with you and I'm like, so this is happening in my life and not very many people know, hey, Holly, and I feel this way about this group of people or this person really hurt me. I'm opening up, right? Like the doors. I'm opening up some of the doors to me and I'm being private with you and personal. Could that be another form of being spiritual? I guess is what I'm asking. And I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on that. But to me, I was just outside, no joke. And I was like, I always thought of spiritual as when people are like, I'm not really a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. Okay, well, that's a definition. Hey, Chewini love. But isn't there also like the spiritual connection? It makes me think of the spirit. You're a spirit. I'm a spirit or a soul. So I'm wondering, like, I open up spiritually to people. I choose to do that now with certain things. I don't think there are any wrong ways to explain it. I believe we all can feel it in our own way, and you can connect on a spiritual level with people who are also spiritual. Hey, Brock, Joanne, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Is could that be another way of being spiritual? Maybe this is sounding stupid. Thank you for your super chat. Now I feel dumb. It doesn't matter that I feel dumb because that's not really the point of what I want to talk about anyway. It's just it was something that just floated to the top of my mind. Thank you for your super chat, Joanne. Well, yeah, I know there are spiritual connections, Debbie. What I'm saying is I feel more of a spiritual connection with people than when I run to the store and I'm like, how's your day going? Good, good. Yeah, okay, great. Nice meeting you. Like that's on the surface level stuff. When you go deep with someone and you share in that with someone and they might confide in you and you might share things. To me, that is a little bit spiritual. It doesn't have to be serious. It's just I'm like I shared something with you and that was between us and spiritual. That's all. I just wondered that literally not what I wanted to talk about, but it was interesting enough to bring up. Hey Melissa, hey Caitlin. Jennifer Ogle, I agree with that. Being spiritual between people means we've connected emotionally and our walls have fallen down and we can be our real. That's exactly what I was trying to just say. Liz Triggs, sometimes you do that. You, Sophia, Baby Steps, and Original Ann. There's like a few people that I'm like, damn, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Joanne Ollie, she's a big one too for me that does that. That's it. That's exactly what I was trying to say. That is my definition of it, Chewini love. Besides the other definition of it for me is more like it doesn't mean you don't believe in God or connect with God. To me, when people say I'm more spiritual than religious, to me that means I would call myself probably more spiritual than religious. Thank you, Liz Tricks. That was fantastic. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Wendy Brewer, I'm not religious because I don't go to church and I don't have a religion. I don't have a religion. I wouldn't even know what church to go to. However, to me, my definition of spiritual is I have a deep relationship with God, with Jesus, and with the Holy Spirit, but also the universe. I tie them all together. I think the universe is a big part of it. My angels, my spirit guides, which to me are also angels, and Fred, who I feel watches over me and protects me. I feel that I definitely would call that spiritual. I feel the energy and I feel it, right? Hey, Helen Baker. Anyway, that's a separate thing and not what I wanted to talk about. But oh, good, Baby Steps. I just feel like that Zoom call for me was a little bit spiritual as in a definition of it. because we all shared in something. I know I deeply shared some things on that Zoom call, and I felt different after, and a bunch of people on that call helped me to see when a group of people or one person, hey D, when a group of people like that Zoom or one person, if you have your best girlfriend you're talking to, and you have that moment where they share a different perspective and you go, oh shit, I never looked at it like that. I have those moments all the time. To me, that's spiritual. That is another spirit, that's another soul that's glowing and on fire, that's full of energy going, boom, what about this? And you go, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's spiritual for me. When I go, oh my God. I never thought I have moments like that all the time though. I have them here and I have them in therapy and I go, oh, holy shit. I never thought of that. And it's very exciting. Hey, Linz. So to me, that's just another definition of spiritual, right? It's just another definition of it. That's all I'm getting at. That's all I'm getting at. But I'm so sorry about your dad, Wendy. I love that, Ab. I feel spiritual at concerts. I don't think anybody's wrong on their definition of it. It's let's be honest, it's a subjective definition. Almost everything is subjective. Nothing is really black and white. Not in my opinion. There's some things are absolutes, but like no one's wrong on certain things, for sure, in my opinion. Krusty Rabbit Hole says, I mainly deal with paranormal audio communication, even though they may not see anyone. Sometime asking questions, answers can be received through audio recordings. Yeah, I totally believe that. I told him, Lindsay, too, that you had sent me over to watch that video. I got through most of it, but not all of it. It was a fantastic video. So this is the problem with therapy days is like it's all like, I want to get it out. And now I'm like, how do I say it all? But I had a great session. And I love that. Be courteous. I like Liz's definition for sure. So what I'm going to do is pull up my notes because I make a lot of notes. And the first thing I started in therapy today, what I said was that I started and I said, I don't even think about what I want to talk about. I never do. It's just the same exact thing for me as going live. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think. I sat down. He was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, good. I have no idea what I want to get into today, but it doesn't matter because I get into it. Right. So we started by me saying, I said, you know what I've noticed? And he was like, this is a banger. I love when I do this to my therapist. Hey, Kimberly Hallman, it doesn't happen very often, but I said something and he said, that's actually pretty true. Like, that's a good observation. I always take a little win when my trained therapist is like, damn, that's good. Exactly, Renee B. So I said, and I find this to be true, that I have noticed, this is just an observation I've noticed, guys. You don't have to disagree with me on this because it's just something I see. Probably Abdazzle. I've noticed that people, hey, Case Face, people who are in their 40s to 50s, between their 40s and their 50s is when I notice this, that they are either, I think what I've been saying lately is this is true. I've been really studying people's behavior, just noticing it, just noticing people's behavior, not doing anything about it, just going, that's interesting, right? And I noticed that you either have, by the time you're 40 or 50, we all have a lot of, I don't care if you are in denial about this, but you're in denial about this if you're going to disagree. We all have some form of trauma, whether it's childhood trauma, adult trauma, abuse of some kind that we've endured. All of us. And by the time we're 40 to 50, I've noticed that you've either taken a look at it. Hey, Alicia Johnson, you've either accepted that you have it and it's there and you've started to deal with it and look internally and start taking accountability, or you haven't. And the people who have not, I see them left and right now. Like I see them everywhere. The people who have it's a bubbling pot. It's boiling over. By the time you're in your 40s or 50s, you can't really hide it anymore. I feel like people in their 20s and 30s, they're able to like manage it better and you don't see it. By the time people reach, and this is my own observation, I could be totally wrong. I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything. I'm totally uneducated. This is just me noticing through actually this channel, like meeting as many people as I've met. It's fucking bubbling over. By the time you're in your 40s or 50s, you can spot the people who are not super reactive. Because if you're super reactive too, that tells me a lot. You're not dealing with your problems at hand. And make no mistake, they're your problems. They're not anybody else's problems. And you're not dealing with them. So you're trying to make them everyone else's problems. Or I also say you're trying to bleed on a bunch of people that didn't cut you. It's the same thing. You're taking your trauma, whatever that may be, that's bubbling over, and you're making it, spewing it onto other people, making it their problem because you won't accept that it's yours. You won't deal that it's yours. And so you're making it everyone else's. Yeah, avoidance. Now, it's not that serious. We see it all the time in people, right? Thank you, Dawn. And my therapist was like, that's a good point. It's true. And I said, yeah, I just notice it. I notice it on YouTube, but I also notice it off YouTube. The 40s and 50s mark is kind of telling. It's like midlife is kind of telling. It's the middle point where people are either like, I think, and it makes sense, right? Like by the time you're in your fourth or fifth decade of life, you've piled up a few divorces, some abuse, your fucking childhood you never dealt with, and now you got to deal with your parents on the regular, and you're just passive aggressive with them because it's boiling over. And you can see it in people. You can see that like rattling pot that's like, and the reason I can see it is because, hey, Rhonda McNeil, you just watch them, study them. I will give an example, and I'm not going to name names, so don't ask me because it's very private. I was speaking to someone recently, and I won't say when, could have been in the last year. And I asked this person in person, it was in person, this person, a question. And then I made a statement, and we were nothing weird. There was no weird energy that I knew of. There was calm. And this person went, "What the fuck do you know about it?" And I went, whoa, right? Like we've all experienced that where it's like normal, 100. Like people go from like 0, 100. And it's like, whoa. Okay. So like struck a nerve, whatever you want to call it. But to me, that's a super reactive person whose pot is about to boil over because your emotions don't match reality. Your emotions are real. Of course they are, but they don't match the situation at hand at all. Right. And people noticed it. And so and that's okay. When that happened, I didn't freak out. I didn't go, what the hell is that? I didn't do anything. I said, I'm just observing. And they were like, oh, well, tell me more about what you saw there. Like flipped out. Erica, I loved that wedding and the photos. You looked so pretty. She did too, of course, but still, I mean, wow, your dress, I loved it. And that's, to me, it's a huge, the reaction doesn't match the situation. I was not in a place to go crazy about it. I just went, okay. I just observed the behavior and I was like, wow, okay. In my head, I was just making note of it, but I stayed super calm because I think my therapy, again, and I'm not going, don't even take this the wrong way. I'm not sitting here going, because I'm so healed, right? I'm not. But I will tell you 100%, this channel is my therapy and my therapist is my therapy. And through that, and I said this to him today, I work on myself every single day of my life, whether I'm on here, ask my Zoom call members. I'm constantly trying to like work through stuff even there. I had something happen in my own real grounded life about a week ago. And I was like, I did not like how I reacted to that. I need to work on that. And I made notes about it. And I was like, how can I fix that? I need to peel that layer back because I don't like it. So I'm constantly like on the mend of like, fix this, fix it. I want to get better. I used to be reactive, but it was directed more inward. I'm much better now, but I am old. Well, you're not old, you're experienced. And that's a beautiful thing, right? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I wouldn't trade and go back into my 20s or 30s ever for all the money in the world because I like where I'm at now. I'm in a newfound place where I don't bleed all over people that didn't cut me. Hey, Joel Sachs. And I think when you heal, you piss off a lot of unhealed people along the way. That's why they say, I saw a quote that said something like, oh, yeah, healing, fixing, and working on yourself comes with a lot of goodbyes. That's a rough statement. If you think about that, healing, hey, Jamie Palmer, working on yourself is going to come with a lot of goodbyes because as you heal and become more stable and calm, but more importantly, hey, Julie, you become more centered with yourself. That pisses people off who are uncentered. It does. And I see it a lot. Oh, God, Barbara, I'm so sorry. Do you agree with that? I see that left and right as I have stabilized myself, but also started to rely on me instead of anybody else over the years and gone, well, what I pick me. So what do I think is what's most important? I don't really reach out for other people's thoughts and opinions anymore unless I'm looking for it. I ask you guys on the regular, what do you guys think? But I know I'm doing it. I'm aware I'm doing it. And I'm clear too when people say this is what you should do. I often say I'm not going to take your advice, but thank you. Right? Like I'm pretty open about that too. Like I'm not interested in any of that. But I appreciate it. I know that you was coming from the heart. I just not going to accept that. So that's the other issue is as you stabilize or become stronger, you see people start unraveling around you who don't like that version of you. And I think that's how a lot of this came about also with my haters. We talked about that with Lindsay last week. I do believe that, my haters and Aaron who attacked me and continue to attack me. I'm not getting into this, but as an example, I believe that they thought I was just going to crumble and fall. And I think they were more angry that I didn't. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just swim on my own. Right. Like I don't need a group of people in my pool. Hold on. I'm going to clear my throat. I would only go back if I could take my current wisdom and not mess up having my daughter as my daughter. Interesting. I could see that. I could totally see that. I don't think I would want to go back. Thank you for your super chat, baby steps. So I made some notes and I don't think I'm going to cover all this today, just not because of a time issue, but because I have to process all this in my head and I haven't taken enough time to do that. But I did have some deep talks with Tommy today after my session. I was like, I said, can I call? We don't usually talk during the day. We usually have a phone call in the evening if we're lucky in the morning, but otherwise we don't. And I said, can I call you? I'd like to sit down and talk to you for a little bit. And he was like, absolutely. So we did. And I'll get into that, but I want to get into my notes. And the other thing I said, hey, Christine, is the cat's fine. He has no more symptoms. I had a couple people who work in vet care reach out to me and kind of explain what that could be. Could be feline herpes, like a case that comes and goes, but I haven't taken him because he's not doing anything. Great point, Helena. I wish people in general would say this is what you could do instead of this is what you should do. I try to say, if I say it at all, I know you're not asking for my advice, but this worked for me. Up to you. Like I try to be very, Wendy, he's totally better. I try to be very hands off and non-threatening if I'm trying to like give someone advice because I don't like people pouring their advice all over me and telling me what to do. So I'm very sensitive to it and I don't do it to people. What was I just going to say? Yeah, there's just, hey, Gemini girl, there's so much that was discussed in therapy that I'm not going to get through it all today just because I have to process it. But so many good nuggets. But the other interesting thing that now that it's at the top of my mind, I want to say this. Do you remember last week when we talked about NPCs or NPEs? You could call it either one. Non-player character or non-player entity. I had never heard that in my life. My therapist knew exactly what I was talking about. And a non player character or a non player entity is basically if you play a video game, which I don't play video games, but I know enough to know what they mean. Yes, Nancy, if you play a video game and you're playing the game, hey, Nicola, and in the game, you're your Mario character, right? But you've got like a dragon that jumps out and tries to get you. And then you've got like the little mushroom guy that jumps out. And then you've got the little guy in the castle. Those are not actual other players. Those are parts of the game. They're owned by and used in the game. They're not a second person sitting next to you with a controller. That's an NPC, non-player character or non-player entity. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It made a lot of sense to me. And I've been thinking about that it has helped me so much to look at people and situations that people cause now as NPCs. Hey, Mischief, like those are just non-player characters for me anymore. Sassy. Reese, you've built such a beautiful community of love and strength. You never needed the others on YouTube. Love and miss you. I work too much. I love you, Sassy. Thank you. Your picture is amazing. Thank you for the super chat. It's nice to see you. I don't need other people. Hey, Kathy, I don't. Yes, Big J, I don't need other people. I probably because I never did. I was raised with no other people. I was raised to play and work and be alone. So I mean, I like being with other people, but I certainly don't have to have other people to get the energy to make it go. I can do that. So those NPCs, those non-player characters, I was telling my therapist and I was like, it's helped me for some reason to look at people around me who create shitty situations such as, yeah, Neptunes. I did my therapist and I really liked this, but such as like, I'm going to give you the example because it's YouTube. The Marilyn situation, the Susie situation, those are YouTube problems. I have more bigger problems in my real life. But let's use those guys as examples. Those are non-player characters to me. Hey, Hope, they're just like the dragons in the game that are meant to be like, they're the werewolf that jumps out. It's like, you got to keep, what do you do on the game? You keep going. You get past them. You go around them, right? You figure out a way to keep going so you win the game. That's all those people are. And there are people who are going to be born and make it into their 90s and die that way and be non-player characters their whole life. Doesn't mean they're bad people, but they don't go deep. They don't self-reflect. They don't take accountability. They just take up air and they work every day and they stir the pots with their families and they everybody knows someone like that. Hey, Bada Bing, good to see you. I just did, Yadira, but I'll do it again. It doesn't mean they have to be, hey, Puka Vista, it doesn't mean they have to be super destructive like someone like Marilyn. Marilyn tries to be destructive. Let's take it down a notch and think of someone in your family. You're like, oh, Uncle Ned has always been, a shitty father and just, he works, but he's not a good dad, whatever, just, they don't try very hard. They don't take a lot of accountability. They make a lot of messes everywhere they go. Those kinds of people are non-player entities to me. They're not my kind of people because they don't actually do any work on themselves. And they never consider therapy. Those kinds of people. Hey, Tyler. Yes, exactly, Tyler. Oh, I love it. She updated her photo. Look at her and her daughter. Her daughter just got married and it was the most beautiful wedding. And Erica looked amazing. I'm sorry I keep taking away from the bride, but you really did. I told you on Sunday, I loved your hair, but I loved the dress you were wearing. And then something occurred to me, and my therapist said this right before we hung up our call. And I went, whoa, that's also a game changer for me. Just a side note, I thought it was interesting. He said, don't forget that he said, you can also, Reese, be a non player character. And I said, what? I figured it was like one or the other. You couldn't be both. And he said, oh, God, no. He goes, I switch into non player entity mode all the time in life. He goes, if I'm out and about, if I'm just like shut down, he goes, you don't have to be on all the time. You don't have to always be entertaining people. You can kind of like just shut it down. Hey, Panda, you can shut it down and not have to be on and entertaining. And, and he goes, when I travel and stuff, I become a non player entity in the world just as much. And I was like, that's really cool. That's validating to know because we all do that too. I just didn't realize you could shapeshift into both. That's the sweet spot. Those are the people you want to know, in my opinion, that bring a lot to the table. They're good people, or at least they try to be. They make the effort, they self reflect, they take accountability, but then they can also go into dark mode where they're just kind of powered down. You don't have to be on the non-player character. You can switch to that too. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. It's only to me a bad thing if you spend your entire life being one of those. Because one of those, Reese, you're a main character. Thank you, Sassy. Because one of those, the non-player entity, I wouldn't want to be it all the time because to me, it's just my definition of that is like someone who stirs the pot, doesn't take responsibility. Again, it might be the same person that's had the same job forever. It's not like they're broke down, horrible people, but they're just like they never better themselves. They never try to get better or make their situation better. They're kind of a downer. They're kind of a drag, right? They just don't like see room for improvement. It makes me think of people like Marilyn only because she doesn't ever self-reflect, ever. She'd probably rather be dead than self-reflect. Like she will not look at the situations that she causes, right? And then turns around and goes, I'm a victim to this situation. And it's like, no, you're not. And we see you caused it. You literally started that fire and then ran and said, oh my God, I got burned, right? Those are NPCs to me, non-player characters. It's like, okay, just move past those and keep going because they're not going to bring much good to the table and they just don't strive to be better. And I like being around people who are like, I need to work on that. I could work on that. I apologize for what I did to you there. Like just open the people who, here's another version of them that I don't like. And I was saying this in therapy, and I'm not embarrassed to say this or ashamed. I also don't like people who refuse to ever know themselves, but they will never show their wounds, their scars, anything. Everything is a commercial for how life is supposed to look. So when you meet the like rich housewives or the wealthy man in the suit, but he's really up to his ears in debt and they fight all the time. But instead it's like she's like, oh my God, so we went out and had brunch and we had mimosas and the kids, oh my God, you should have seen it. And then we went to the Bahamas and it's like life is a dream and you don't even talk. And I'm doing this fake voice on purpose. There are people who are like, and you should have seen, honestly, like she was there and she looked terrible. Like people who talk like that. And it's like, you don't talk like that. I don't want to know you because you don't even know yourself. You will not even look inward for a second. You have to change your voice to be somebody else. Imagine how much you have to change everything else. But meanwhile, behind closed doors, your life's a mess. You have no relationship with your spouse. Your kids don't like you, like whatever it is. I'm not trying to shame people, but I can't stand people who are so terrified to show you their scars that it's like, I haven't done anything wrong. Look at our pictures in Mexico. It's like, It's okay to, there's, there's wear and tear. Marie Marion, non-player character. I cannot stand people who don't want to show me the wear and tear. They try so hard to mask it that they become somebody else. They are totally somebody else. Like they just don't even know who they are. I don't want to know people like that. It's uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not trying to say F you, I don't want to know you. I'll talk to people like that, but I'm certainly not going to be friends with people like that because it's a waste of my time. I'm sorry, I need a haircut really bad and I look like a boy named Bjorn. If I can't reach you, if I can't talk to you about what's real and your real life and your, I'm not an on the surface person. You know this from this channel. I like to let everything hang out. I like to go deep. I like to present the scars and be vulnerable. And I want other people to do it too. And so if someone is like, yeah, we've been married 10 years and like, I'm like, you're just, this is a commercial. Like, you don't want me to see what's behind the curtain, right? You don't want me to see it. And therefore, you haven't worked on anything to do with you. And you're going to be one of those people then when you hit in your 40s or 50s, like sensitive to everything and ready to blow because the pot is boiling over because you haven't dealt with anything. You've spent your entire life being like, and here's pictures of us in paradise, and here's us here. Meanwhile, we haven't had sex in 15 years and we fucking hate each other and he's cheating on me. But like, well, we're not going to show any of that. We're just going to show that, like, here's our beautiful life. And I'm not saying that's all people, but I don't like people who mask the wear and tear of life. Yeah, it's my favorite part, like showing me your scars. That's why I really mean it when I say this. And I hate to bring it up again, but the long con saved me in so many ways. I'm not ashamed of it. That's one of the biggest things they try to rub in my face. And it's like, yeah, that's called wear and tear. And it's out there for all to see. It's like Lindsay. She is clean and sober for over 30 days now. Those are the kind of people I want to know who let it all hang out there, who show the scars, show the messy ass behavior, show the, I was wasted here and I was in jail here. Tommy was one of those people. Those are the people I want to know. Those are the people that let it all hang out and go, so what? That's fucking wear and tear. I don't want to know people who are like, yeah, and I make $300,000 a year and just bought another car and we got a place in the Hamptons. And I mean, that's good for you. Happy for you. But like, I don't see anything where you suffered. You're not showing me anything. You don't want me to see what's behind the curtain. And everybody has stuff behind the curtain. Everybody does. Right? So I struggle with that. You have to work to accept your scars first. That's deep. And then you can be real and use your scars to help others on their journey. Damn, Liz. Why don't you have a YouTube channel? Please don't get one because you'll beat me and blow me out of the water and no one will watch me anymore. Damn. You have to work to accept your scars first. Hey, Big Z, and then you can be real and use your scars to help others. And that is a perfect example of Lindsay and Tommy. Yeah, perfect. Spot on, Liz. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. This is what drew me to you, Reese. Authenticity has become so important to me in my 40s, and I'm so thankful for you. Thank you, Case Face. I love that picture. You changed it. And thank you for your super chat. Yes, authenticity. I'm in the same exact position as you are, Case Face. That's what I mean. When I go out in public, right? Or there are certain people in my life that I have to deal with on a regular basis that you don't know about that are that way, right? That don't want me to see the dark parts. They don't want me to see the parts that are unhealed. They don't want me to see those things. I don't give a lot of those people much of my time and I don't connect with them spiritually. Therefore, they are non-player characters. People like that are the people in a Nintendo game and you're Mario driving or doing whatever you're doing, and the dragon jumps out and tries to get you, and you keep going and speed past him, because that's not an actual player. That's part of the system, that's part of the game. So those people are non-player characters to me. Those types of people that don't want to do the work, they have no interest in, they're Maryland's. Don't look at me. I didn't do anything wrong. Liz, Reese is way worse. I might have beat my children, but look at Tommy in 1986. We're going to take him down for that. Everybody sees your embarrassing behavior because you don't want to deal. And so now it's just this bubbling, boiling pot. And you're trying to hold everything together by going, look at my perfect family and my husband, and I'm so close to Aaron, and Aaron is God. So I'm just really, really happy. Like, you're drawing us a picture that nobody buys. No, everyone sees this. You're trying to present this, hey T, this commercial for us that your life is so great that I'm gonna do content tearing down other people. Look at Dodge and his awful trust fund. If that has any, that's a good thing, by the way. His parents loved him enough to take care of him and right, support him. I think that's a wonderful thing. But tearing others down, you try to tear others down, and we see it for what it is, because the healed people who do show their scars are going, the fuck is this? This is weird. It's weird. It's weird to tear down strangers to feel better about yourself. Abigail says, don't think you are better than you really are. Ooh, I like it already. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. I love that, Abigail. New Testament. Thank you. Don't think you are better than you really are. Thank you for the super chat. West Coast, you and the mods have made it very safe for us to share our hearts and trauma in here. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. That's what I talked about with Tommy. Thank you, West Coast. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, Jen. That was the other thing that I realized today. So go back to when I said in the beginning, I'm not going to name who this person is. You're not going to know. You won't be able to guess. And it wasn't Tommy. I, over the last year, had a conversation with someone who clearly is harboring a lot of unexpressed resentment for me and possibly other people. But I said something, hey, Rox, I said something to this person, and it was the waters were calm. Everything was fine that I knew of. And this person snapped my head off and went, what the fuck does that mean? And I went, whoa. And the other thing that I think ties in with people who are pretending to be that commercial, the non-player characters, you know why I think that could be totally wrong. This is something I thought of in therapy. But I know it's not wrong for the case of Reese and Tommy. Tommy and I did not get, we were probably one of the most toxic relationships that I can think of in the first couple of years of our relationship. And I mean fucking toxic. And I'm not going to get into details because a lot of you don't even know the details. We should have not been together. Not at all. I walked around on eggshells around him because Tommy had anger issues. But also don't think you are worse than you really are. Neither extreme is healthy. Agree with that. Yes. Hey, Mama Jules. Thank you, Baby Steps, for your super chat. And we have come a long way. We have come a long way. We are totally, absolutely flipped into different people. And the only reason that's even happened is I give that to God. I absolutely believe that was through prayer, through work. And I think God was like, okay, I can help you with this, because I don't know any other reason that this, hey, Jamie Castro, could have changed like it did. Tommy and I were just not a fit. We did not get along. Love it. I triggered him. He would trigger me. We didn't trust each other. There was no reason that we should have been together other than I think we just had good sexual chemistry. But like otherwise, we were not a fit. And it took the long con. It took breaking up. It took me stabbing him in the back, I would say. Hey, Don Clark. And a nice long break from each other. And I think it took me accepting this is over. You know, I have killed this relationship. We're never going to be together again. I'm never going to talk to this man again. And we all saw that in real time. And I was thinking to myself at the time, like, that's okay. I'm going to pick up the pieces and be a single woman and move on with my life. Like, that was for a season. And the point is, here we are now. I've never been happier. I absolutely am crazy about him. We never fight. Like, all of those things have not gone away just because they dissipated into thin air. We worked this shit out. We drug each other through the mud, sat down, and just like face to face, we were like, if we want this, we're really going to have to like set some ground rules. But I think I grew and evolved, and he grew and evolved with me. And I also took complete control of me. And I basically was like, I'm going to control me. You're going to control you. And neither one of us are going to overlap there. I'm not going to tell you what to do, and you're not going to tell me what to do. And we're going to trust that. We're going to trust that fucking process. Like, I don't need guidance from you, and you don't need it from me. And whatever we're doing is working because I'm working on myself and you're working on yourself. And we're just going to see where we end up. It's kind of like how it started. And now it's just, he's my absolute best friend in the world. Hey, Sassy, thank you for becoming a member, babe. Hey, Eric. The point is, I'm not trying to get into those details. The point is, I also cognited, I just used a Scientology word. I also realized cognite, guys, cognition, cognite is, I think, a Scientology word where it's like an epiphany. You realize something. You go, oh my God, that's a cognition. So I realized today that, did I write it down? I don't know if I wrote that one down. I don't think I did. I realized that this is crazy, but this was a bomb for me, and it came to me. Some people, and one of them, this is crazy. And I nailed it between me and Tommy because I know he's one of them and I know I was one of them. Can't speak for you guys, but I know him and I know me. Some people, this is so sad, but I think it's more true than it's not. Some people have never, ever, ever experienced true safety. They've never felt safe in their own skin or around others. So they're someone else. They don't tell the truth. They give a version of what they are. They don't show their wounds, their scars, all of those things. They don't let it hang out because they're constantly in fight or flight. They're survival mode. They're not safe. They've never taken a break. Hey, Laura Lou, to be safe with another, let alone themselves. The people that you meet that are like, oh my God, right? They're not safe to show you who they really are. They don't even know what it feels like. So instead of getting mad at them or like, I don't even know who you are, you don't know who you are. I mean, yes, that's true. But it's like the reason is they've never felt safety. They've never been in safety mode. Hey, Irish Mart, where they can calm enough to trust other people, to form real relationships and value them, to slow down. They're in constant like make decision mode and fucking panic mode and anxiety. And like, you know, maybe they have a horrible relationship with their spouse and they fight all the time and their kids don't love them and like anything you can think of, right? Most people have not even experienced a landing spot where they can just go, oh, nothing's going to attack me. That was Scientology. Those are all the Scientologists in there. That's why I get angry when people go attack those Scientologists and make fun of them and laugh at them. They're already in survival mode. They already are like constantly doing this internally, freaking the fuck out. There's no reasons to go attack them and make fun of them, right? That's another thing. But same with Tommy. Tommy has never been safe. He's never been safe. We know this. This is open information. I'm not sharing anything that, of course, that he wouldn't let me. Tommy was sexually abused as a child, right? He's carried that his whole life. He's never trusted women for that reason. He was abused by more than one woman. Hey, Pete Taylor, and he's never, ever, ever trusted women. And he's been in fight mode, right? Tommy was in prison 13 years. Tommy was in hundreds and hundreds of fights. He used heroin for decades. He's been stabbed at. He's literally been in fight mode his whole life. He's never felt a landing spot where he can just chill and not have to look over his shoulder and feel safe with even just himself, let alone another woman or another person, a best friend, whatever it is. That occurred to me today that most of the people that we talk to who are those non player entities are not, or people who you meet and you're just like, that was phony. That whole, like, everything was phony about that person. It's because they don't feel safe enough to be themselves. That is a true gift. Some people, I think, go through their entire lives. Hey, Willow Tree, without, yes, Neptunes, without, some people go through their entire lives, like birth to death, just fighting that fucking trauma and that pot boiling over. We see people like that all the time. They're not safe. They don't feel safe. And that makes me very sad. That's very heartbreaking. So I look at people who are constantly in destruction mode. Hey, Rue, I have really missed you. I've been worried about you. Been caregiving with my mom in Chicago. So you're still in Chicago. It's extremely difficult and mostly hilarious. I love her so much. And I love you, Rue. Prayers for you and your mom and your brothers. I'm really happy to see you. I'm happy to hear from you. I know I do recall your comment a couple weeks ago about not wanting to be a part of the drama. And so you were kind of pulling away from it. Also, I love you for that because that was smart. And I love when you can, not you, anyone can recognize that's self-care. Like, this isn't for me. I'm going to take a break, right? I think that's a beautiful thing. And I wish more people would do it. Rue, I love you. And thank you for the giant super chat, but it's just really nice to see you. I have missed you. And I hope that you can stop in. I'm sorry what's going on with your mom, but I am glad that you're there with her. Tommy and Reese, red string theory. Never heard of that before. Thank you for your super chat. Red thread of fate is an ancient Asian belief that two people destined to be in each other's lives are connected by an invisible red string. Interesting. I love that. I've never heard of that in my life. Thank you, Sassy. I believe it. I can see that. But the safety thing makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad when you meet people and you're like, they're NPCs, non-player characters. They're just like, they don't ever work on anything. They just float through life and they don't think anything's their fault or they don't take accountability. It's because there's no safety. It makes sense to me. It's like, why would I open up? I'm just going to get burned. Like, why would I be myself? Right? It's because the trauma or whatever has happened to them. And I'm not going to pretend to know, but by your middle of life point, I think it's telling, right? Like, there's people who either work on themselves or they don't. You can fucking tell. And so they just don't have a safe landing place to be themselves. And if you look at it like that, it's hard to be angry. You feel sad. That's why they explode. They feel scared. Absolutely, Katie Smith. That's why they self-harm. That's why they overeat. That's why they're alcoholics, right? Because they're having to find ways to cope because, God forbid, we actually look inward and deal with it. So that's why they have anger issues and they explode. That's why Tommy struggled with that. I can tell you right now, Tommy has never raised his voice to me ever since. Now, I will say a lot of the reasons for that is we did do the work, but I also approached him once. We had a fight once, and I'm not going to get into this because no one knows this. We had a fight once, and I said to him, "This is over." Like I had reached, we all reach our breaking point, and I said, "You will never see me again. This is over. I can't do this with you anymore. I love you, but this is going nowhere. And like your issues, you're not dealing with them. And I am trying to self heal and self reflect, and you're not doing it. And it's dragging me down." And I was like, "I just can't continue this with you. And I can't be your friend either." So I was like, this has to end. And one of us has to end it. And I know it's not going to be you. So it's going to be me to do it. And I just was like, "I can't do this with you anymore. I will love you forever." Like I didn't hate him. I wasn't angry. I was just like, "I can't do this with you anymore. I am growing into a different place and a different person, and you're not adapting with me." And I truly believe that's why marriages end. I didn't know my ringer was on, because one person gets better and the other chooses not to. And so we did. Like I ended it with him and we didn't talk. And he was like, basically how it ended up, we're obviously together now, right? And we will never not be together. Like it's fixed. The problem has fixed. And I know that because I've never seen it again. I've never seen any kind of trace of it again, because I said to him, yeah, Neptunes, I was like, "I will not allow this kind of treatment in my life by you, by any man, by my child. I only allow certain ways that people can talk to me, right? And it's just a healthy boundary, and I'm going to enforce it. And therefore we cannot have a relationship." And then I don't know what happened, because he did the work. He did some work on himself and he came around and he was like, "Hey, Pat Jonas," he was like, "I have lost the best thing that's ever happened to me." And he was like, I absolutely hate that I treated," you've heard him talk on streams about this. He said, "I hate that I treated you this way." Thank you, Maria, for years. And he said, "The biggest thing I realized is," and he bawled through this, but he said, I showed Tommy a picture of me when I was little. "You taught him how to treat you and he listened and honored that. Bingo. I said, this is it. There is no more. You have no more chances with me. You've run out. And this is over now." And I was not like, "Fuck you. I'm out of here." Thank you, Rachel. That's beautiful. I just said, "I will love you forever. I don't know that I'll ever date again. You are my guy. But unfortunately, I'm not going to let you drag me down because of your issues that you refuse to work on." So he came around and I showed him a picture of me long ago of, I was like 4, and he was bawling over this picture. This is what like really made him reflect. And he said, I never paid attention to your triggers." And he said, it was sad. And I usually don't share this kind of stuff, but I will. He said, "I was being your father. I was triggering you daily with the way I was treating you, the way I was trying to control you. But more importantly, the tone of my voice was triggering the fuck out of you daily. You were that 4-year-old child, and I was talking down to you." And he was sobbing through this. Tommy was sobbing. And he was like, "I hate myself for it. I'll never treat you that way again." He was like, "If you'll give me please one more chance, I swear to God, I've seen the light." And he was like, "I'll never, ever, ever treat you this way again. I'll never be your dad." And he said, "I'm so sorry. I can't take back the way I treated you before." But he was like, "I'll be dead before I ever raise my voice to you again, before I ever, ever do that to you again." And every morning since then, I mean, this has been a long time ago, he looks at that picture of me. And he said, "I look at that picture of you every single morning. And I just say how grateful I am that I have that woman, that girl who turned into that beautiful, powerful woman." And he's like, "I don't tell you what to do." And he doesn't. Tommy does not tell me what to do anymore. Last week, I told my therapist this. I asked him for advice on something. I said, "What should I do?" And he said, "I'm not giving you advice." And I said, "What does that mean?" And he goes, "Reese, you take everything and turn it into beauty. You don't make mistakes. And when you do, you turn them into beauty. Like you own your mistakes and you make them better. And he was like, I'm not here anymore. Like, I don't control you. He was like, I want to see what you're going to do. I don't want to tell you what to do. And I loved that. I loved that. It really was. I was like, babe. And he said, I'm serious. He said, I love watching you make your own decisions. He goes, your channel is like incredible. That's because of you. Like, why would I want to tell you what to do with anything in life? And I was like, wow. And he also, of course, has opened up and trusted me more than anyone. Tommy has shared things with me. And yes, Neptune. So I think also our inner kids kind of connected there. And I also have changed massively. I respect the shit out of Tommy. And I never really did before. And I doubted him a lot. And now I never overstep. I'm never snarky to him. I love him very much and I trust him. And the last thing I want to do is be like, well, you're going to do it anyway. Like I used to kind of be that way to him and be like, yeah, we'll see. Like I'm not like that anymore to him. I love him. I don't want to treat people I love that way. It's not funny and it makes them feel ick and question things like why are you treating me like that. So I also just really really respect him, but it was it just got to that breaking point where I was like, I love the shit out of you, but I'm not doing this with you anymore. And that just created such a shift. And I prayed when we did break up. I prayed and I said, God, I know we're not going to be together. You obviously like this wasn't meant to be. This is the man for me in my opinion, but obviously it's not in your opinion. And I trust God. And I said, but please heal him and please let Tommy find happiness. That was my prayer for a long time. I was like, I don't know what happiness for him means if he finds another woman. I don't know what it is, but I was like, please help him with his inner demons and help him find whatever makes him happy. And then it was like that happened and Tommy was like, I realize what I lost and I will never lose you again if you'll give me another chance. And he was like, I'll never be your father again. And I was triggering you daily. He was like, I was hurting you daily. Like I was being your dad. I was being controlling and I was being firm in my voice. And he was like, you don't need any of that. You never did. Like, you know what to do. So that changed everything. And he's never raised his voice to me. And it's just been really a beautiful thing. And he constantly changes with me now. And yeah, after we talked today, after my therapy, he goes, I love your therapy days. And I said, you do? And he goes, it's crazy to say this. He goes, but I wake up every day and I go, I love her more than I did yesterday. He goes, but you evolve so much on your therapy days. He goes, I love hearing what you have to say about therapy. The only thing that sucks is I wish we could be together more. But even that, it doesn't bring me down. I know that eventually we will. I feel like this went off the rails and now I'm just like chatting like I would with there's people watching right now that don't root for us, that hate me. And I don't want to say too much because I've learned from that too. But I love people who put all of it out there. So when the haters try to take Tommy and me and Lindsay and Nora down by rubbing our past mistakes and wounds in our faces, I laugh at that because I'm like, that's what makes us stronger. That's the strong point for me. I'm evolving and getting stronger. And you think hitting at me about the long con or anything like that, I think you've made a huge mistake. That's not my weakness. That's my strength. I was angry. I know where you're going with this. Had hate and shame. And I made a lot of mistakes because of my past. And I lived my life like I was fine, but in actuality, I was dying inside until I finally let myself open up to you and that freed me. Oh my God, I love you so much, Joanne. Joanne, well, I will never share the things that Joanne shared with me. I've never even told Tommy what you shared with me. When people share things with me, from this channel, thank you for your super chat. I don't even share them with Tommy because it's private between you and me. and I would never share them. But Joanne laid something on me that was, I could feel from that. It was very freeing for her. And I felt so honored to know what it was. But I think people miss, and thank you, Joanne, for saying that and for sharing that with me. But I think people, I said this, West Coast Fancy Nancy, and I feel the same way about this. Guys, opening up, being vulnerable. I know it's not easy for some, it's very easy for me, but opening up and telling what happened or taking accountability or self-reflecting is freedom. These other people who have to keep up the commercials are slaves. Do you see that? The fact that, like, I don't answer to anyone. I love you too, Buffy. I don't I don't have to follow a playbook. I come on here, I hit go. I don't have a script. I don't do anything. I do the same thing in my daily life. There's freedom in that. The long con freed me. And I know that sounds weird, but it did. And the fact that people try to throw that in my face, I'm like, you are something else because you cannot read a room. That's for sure. That makes me stronger. I'm only gaining in strength because I was so weak before. There was really nowhere to go but up. If that makes sense. But most of these people are walking around on strings. They're they're hey Vince, they are slaves to their own trauma, like Pat Jonas just said. They're slaves to others because they have to keep up appearances. They feel like they have to be friends with this person because it makes them look cool. It's all optics. It's smoke and mirrors, and they have to keep up with that. There is zero freedom in that. Zero freedom in that. So when I did go in alone, I was alone for a while until Tommy and I strengthened our relationship. Now I have Nora and Lindsay and a bunch of people on this channel that are not content creators as my friends. There's major freedom in that because I get to do and say and be who I want to be. I don't have to pretend to be someone else or go, don't talk about the long con. Let's talk about Maryland. I don't have to do that. My wear and tear of life happens, a lot of it, to be out here on the internet. Hey, Christian. And somehow people think that's going to weaken me, and it doesn't. Hey, Norm. It's often a good thing we can't take back big mistakes. How else could we ever help anyone else if we hadn't first waded through that mud? Exactly. That's why I say, like, I want to know the people who make big mistakes. I'm sick of these people who are like, everything's so perfect in my life. No, it's not. And you shouldn't pretend that it is. It's ugly. Pretending that you are perfect is ugly. Like, show us your wear and tear. It's okay. You're not going to get judged. Thank you for that, Helena. Yes, Mama Jules. P. Taylor, I'm going to take a drink, guys. I've been with you, Reese, the beginning. I've seen the ups and downs that you and Tommy had and love how you come back together after doing the work. Love you both. Thank you so much. It's true. It's the truth. So thank you for saying that. And thank you for your super chat. You've been with us forever. I see you on the boat all the time. We love you. And just so you know, guys, you don't have to love Tommy. Like, I don't judge anyone who doesn't like Tommy. That's okay too. There's plenty of people on the boat who are not big fans of me, but love Tommy. It's perfectly okay. Doesn't hurt either one of us. Doesn't bother me. I know the people in this chat who are not big fans of him. I'm still very close to them. It doesn't bother me at all. What would bother me is if you were like, you could do better. Blah, blah. Like, I don't like that. I don't need anybody to tell me that. But it's perfectly okay to have your opinions. Doesn't bother me. The other thing that I want to say, what kind of to add to what Helena just said, I made this note. And I want you to hear this because it's very much what we've been talking about. Most people spend their entire lives resisting the very experiences that shaped them. Most people spend their entire lives resisting the very experiences that shaped them. That's the wear and tear. And I don't know, hey, Justice Jane, why people are so quick to try to hide the scars. Thank you, Jackie C. I don't know why people try to hide the experiences that shaped who they are. Why? It's weird to me that people do that. I love that, Marie Marion. I probably appear standoffish. I don't think you do, because I haven't shared a lot of super personal stuff because I've come to realize through interactions with people that I see how invested I am in your life and it affects me. Interesting, Abigail. Well, that's okay. You don't have, that's the beauty of this channel and beauty of life. You can share or not share as much as you want. Never feel pressure either way. I do love having you here, though. The other notes I made, and I think this is really, really, really important. This is kind of what kicked off the whole session today. I was trying to decide if I was going to blow my nose. You can't rely on what you were taught. This is good. Thank you for sharing this. I'm happy for you and Tommy. Thank you, Willow Tree. It's really nice of you. I'm glad I shared it. I don't share as much about me and Tommy anymore just because of the hate and the opinions of people. But I do love sharing it. I do love talking about it. I don't regret what I just shared. I love talking about it. Thank you for your super chat. This may not speak to you as much as it spoke to me. Me too. Donna Cooper. I recognize people like Marilyn a mile away. It's hard for me to open up. I have to feel like I can trust it. Yes. You and me both. Hey, Pillow Sham. Because of my YouTube channel, it's a double-edged sword. So last summer, as you know, we did a meetup for my birthday and I met the most amazing women and I stayed friends with all of them. And one of them flipped and decided to hate me and go to the hate channels and say horrible things. It's one thing to just decide you don't like me anymore. I mean, friendships come and go. They're there for a season sometimes. That's okay. But you better believe I'm exactly the same way now. I'm a lot more gun shy about sharing with people and that's why I'm not in a lot of people add me to like their group chats. I don't get involved in it anymore. Every time I send a text or I make a phone call or I send an email, I have to double check it to make sure, like, what did I say here? Because I can see this person screenshotting it and putting it out to the world. It's sad and it sucks that I have to do that, but I just self-protect more than I used to. So I understand. I do get it. Like I have to really think twice before I say what I'm going to say to someone because all I can hear is someone going, look what Reese did. Look what Reese said. I got the receipts. Like I will never do that shit again. I won't play those games with people again. So I have to be really careful too. And I think we all should. Wasn't Julia at the meetup? Julia. Who's Julia? Hey, Teacher Mama Life. Oh, I hate when that happens. Liz says, those who have not dealt with their own scars don't understand that showing your scars comes with redemption and forgiveness. Yes. That is what gives you freedom from the chains those scars wrapped you in and have held you captive. Yes. Julia O'Connell was not at our meetup. I know who that is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she hates me. She's a big hater, but I don't know anything about her. I know that she was Susie's ex-mod and they got into like big fights online about it. But for some reason, she also hates me. I'm not really sure. Hey, Auntie Janet says, Renee B, I hope you feel better. I'm a little concerned. Yeah, Liz Tricks, you hit this on the head again. There's the freedom in it. And people just don't, they're too busy trying to hide that they stay in chains. And it's so weird. Yes, Neptune, scars are badges of courage. Thank you for the giant super chat, Liz. So I want you to hear these notes too. And again, this may not speak to you like it speaks to me. This speaks to me through my Scientology upbringing. You may feel fine about it. I don't feel fine about it. So I'm going to read to you what I wrote here. You cannot rely on what you were taught You can't trust the programming. You have to go deeper. You have to discover what love means without manipulation or control or conditions. That's what I did with Tommy. I released him. I was like, I can't do this because this is love based on control and manipulation, right? This is hey Trace, this is all conditional. Like I'm nervous around you, I'm triggering you, you trigger me. Like that's all just love, but through the veil, through the kaleidoscope of control and manipulation. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. I already am damaged on my own. I don't want to be damaging each other all day fucking long. So that's not so much, this is more my Scientology, but that last sentence was about that. You cannot rely on what you were taught. For me, that's huge. You can't trust the programming. Hey, Kestrel, you cannot rely on what you were taught. So many people, in my opinion, again, I could be wrong on this, it's just what I observe. So many people walk around tightly, like tightly holding on to what they were taught, the programming they were fed. Thank you, Neptunes. So many people, I see that. Like, and you hear it in their what they say. People will go, "Oh, Tammy, I love that so much. You inspired me to go back to therapy. I love you, Tammy. That's such a wonderful thing. I like your new picture." Yeah, Kelly Lord, I understand that too. So many people walk around saying this. Well, that's not how I was raised. Or my parents did this. Or when I grew up, we did this. You're holding on too tightly to what you were taught. You may need to be a little bit more flexible with that because it may not be what's true now. That could have been true then. But what's the point in changing and evolving if you're going to hang on to everything you were taught? Hey, Leon Joy, I had therapy today. Me too, Puka Vista. I'm glad you did. For me, that's huge. And I'd like to do a stream with Nora, honestly, about this just as another former ex-Scientologist. You cannot rely on what you were taught. You can't trust the programming, which sucks in a lot of ways. It's great to know it, but you know what that means? We're almost on year 3 of doing the work. I got kicked out of Scientology and I almost started a YouTube channel, not instantly. I was kicked out. I was found out about, he outed me New Year's Eve, 2022. I started a YouTube channel like August 1st, 2023. So I went about 6 months. But still, that's pretty damn fresh. And so what I did was I started a channel, and here we are today doing the exact same thing we did then, but we're just healing in real time, and I'm vulnerable and I'm exposing, how dumb I am in a lot of ways in real time and things I'm learning and shit that, and when I say dumb, I mean like there's been all kinds of shit on this channel where a lot of people are like, yeah, Reese, we all learned that when we were 17. And here I am in my 40s and I'm like, really? Like, I just don't know as much. I'm catching up on life. There's plenty of things I know, but there's plenty of other things I don't. And I'm just learning in real time. I love that you can't change and grow by doing the same things. Yes. Sassy, I think people hide negative experiences because society has told us that it's bad. Therefore, we are bad. Break society and family chains. Be true to you. Damn, that's really, really good too. That's a great point, guys. Society has told us it's bad. So people hide. And it's not just society, it's your parents, Sassy. That's what I'm saying. You cannot rely on what you were taught. And whether it's society that taught you or your parents, you can't rely on that shit. So you're right. When you got scolded and reprimanded for something, and then you learned that behavior, and now you're like, I don't want to show that side of me because it's bad. It's not. You were told it was. You've got to see the difference. It's not. It isn't. It just isn't, right? Thank you for your super chat. That was good wisdom. But you cannot rely, let me read my note again. You cannot rely on what you were taught. You can't trust the programming. You have to go deeper and discover what love means without manipulation or control or conditions. And I could change that word love to anything. Thank you, Leon Joy. You have to know what trust means without control and manipulation and conditions. You have to know what relationships mean without that. You have to know what you have to trust yourself to know that without using manipulation and control tactics on yourself. People gaslight themselves, people piss themselves off too. It's not just others. I love that, Trace. Reese, I have said this before. You have helped me begin to heal and learn that I can have boundaries. I love you, DNV, and I do know that about you, and I'm super, super proud of you for that. Thank you for being a member. I mean, that's kind of what Liz was saying and Joanne was saying. Like, you have to know yourself before you can even deal with other people, too. So I kind of have had to do the work on myself and realize, I've been aggressive and abusive to others and myself and torn myself down and abusive my whole life. And we do that on camera and it doesn't bother me and I'm not embarrassed about it. But you can't rely on what you were taught. And I just wonder, I wonder what the hell Nora's up to. Because I'd like to do a stream with her about this. Helena. And again, you guys might not be feeling what I'm feeling right now when I say that. Thank you, Buffy. I love you, babe. I was taught pure Scientology. That's it. That's all I was taught, right? From a very young age. I love Reese in this community, my daily therapy. I love you, Jeannie Hansen. Thank you for being a member. And I think we all feel that way to a degree. Not all. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I mean, we come here to laugh and talk about silly shit. Like yesterday's stream was a shit show, literally. But also, I think this is the kind of stuff I like to talk about. The healing journey, whatever you want to call it, the digging, the self-reflecting, the just being authentic. You're just letting the wear and tear hang out there for everyone to see. They can't take that away. And you can now see the people who try to make me into something else, right? Like Reese is such a liar. She's such a grifter. She's manipulating her audience. Hey, Erie Forever, you can just watch this and know that that's not true. I'm here to learn, not teach. I'm not trying to manipulate people. I'm here to learn from people. It's a very relaxing place, Dee. I agree. Abigail says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. I like that. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Old Testament. I love that. Yeah. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you for your super chat. Kim is blue. You better believe it. And Abigail, I do that. I mean, I don't want to get religious here, get weird with people, but I do that. I talk to God all the time now. I talk to God more about my problems than anyone else now. Even Tommy, I talk to God more about my problems. And somehow it's been better since I've started doing that. I manipulate your growth daily. That's funny. You manipulate my growth daily. Hey, Katie did it. But I think I made a decision when I wrote that down. I cannot rely on what I was taught. That's pretty huge. That's pretty powerful. I can't rely on what I was taught. And that's why I said when I came out of Scientology and I was disconnected from my whole family, it felt like taking me and dropping me on a New York City subway at midnight and going, good luck. And maybe I only speak Russian. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, I'm out in the real world. I don't know where the hell to go. I don't know which way is up. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound more dramatic than it was, but it was dramatic. I had lost my entire fucking family and my entire religion, right? That I had been living with for 38 years. It was a weird adjustment, is all I'm saying. Oh, for sure, Abigail. What did George Carlin show you? Question everything. Question teachers, authority, parents, everything. Hey, Robin Miners. It's a group who listen, laugh, cry, and brainstorm. Always food for thought and beautiful souls here. That's such a good way of putting it. Listen, laugh, cry, and brainstorm. It's not some secret, weird combination of shit going on, like manipulation and grifting, and it's not sad fishing. Like they love to paint it in a totally different light. No one ever buys that shit except them, except the people who are doing the painting. Thank you, Robin Miners. Thank you for the super chat. Please don't let me get the hiccups on here. I've been getting the hiccups lately. I don't know why. And that's my biggest fear, is that I'm going to get the hiccups live. You guys have not heard my hiccups, and they're so loud. I got them this morning. I had them yesterday morning, and it's so loud. Huxley's like, damn, Mom. Let's hope that doesn't happen. If it does, it does. Hey, speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Nora just texted me. I have some questions about our upbringing. So I just said to Nora, I'd like to have you on at some point. I have some questions about our upbringing. We'll see what she says. Would you guys be up for a Nora stream this week if she's willing? Jennifer Minton, they do. Wow. She said I would love that with 1, 2, 3, 4 exclamation points. So it's a yes. What day? I'd love it too. I'd really like to have Nora on to talk about just some similarities between our Scientology upbringing. I'd like to do it tomorrow if she can. If not, maybe when is tomorrow Wednesday? Fuck. It can't be tomorrow. It would have to be Thursday or Friday. Tomorrow's my dad's birthday. And I don't know what my schedule is tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if we're going to do a early dinner. I don't know. So I don't want to commit to tomorrow. Erie Forever. I love talking with Nora. I wish she would make more time for me, to be honest. Can you do Thursday? I'm going to say Thursday. Because I really would I'd like to nail her down. I'd like to set it up. I don't mean that in a lesbian way. I was thinking today was Monday. So I just said, can you do Thursday? Wow. She said, yes. Well, let's just show you. Dang, look at that. It's dramatic as hell. Okay. Thursday it is. Thursday it is, you sassy lesbian. I will be on tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Canada Day. I don't know what that entails, but happy Canadian Day. I will be here tomorrow. I just don't know when. I got to find out from my mom the schedule. And you would think that his birthday is planning a wedding. Okay. Literally, I was like, wow, look at Nora. Look at Nora. She's like, what time? Holy scheduled. She's an organized lesbian, I'll tell you right now. What time do you guys want to do Thursday? Let me look at my calendar. I don't have a pap smear or anything, do I? No. Oh, interesting, Joanne. What time do you guys want to do Thursday? Do you want to do like 4 o'clock, 4:30 again? Of course, Trace, for sure. Can we do like a 4:15? Okay, I asked for 4:15 my time. This would be great. Oh, my damn mom. Tomorrow's his birthday. She said, okay, 4:15. She goes, I'm just trying to figure out for stream times tomorrow, Mom. I was like, are we going to dinner? Are we getting a carry out? Are we doing anything? She was like, I don't know. Like, I overwhelmed the shit out of her. She's like, I don't know. I got to figure. She's like, a lot of balls in the air. I got to figure this out. I got to talk to these people. I got to talk to his sister. And I was like, Diane, we're not planning a fucking wedding here. Okay. I was like, it's a birthday. It's a birthday dinner. It's not the end of the world. You need to calm your sugar tits. Nora said, I'll put it on my calendar now. Wow. That is an organized lesbian right there. Holy Lord, I've never seen such a. Hey, Katie did it. Yadira, D, Jojo. I think those are my four lesbians. Are you guys super organized like that? Wow. It might just be a mom thing. Now that I think about it, it might be a mom thing. What's going on with my hair? It looks like a damn cockatoo. Okay, so we're gonna do 4:50. Hey, thanks, CNV. We're gonna do 4:15 Thursday my time. Don't screw around. Okay. I expect you to be here and I expect it to be full undivided attention. Just say, Mom, you seem stressed. I say that every day to her. Calm your farm. Calm your farm tits. Sigrid says, I'm not organized. Um, yeah. Erie Forever, I try. So let's do Thursday at 4:15 with Nora because I would like to deep dive this a little bit on like just what we just talked about. Nora always has Central Time. Mama Jules Central. I'm sorry. I am Central Time. Nora is Pacific Time, I think, Pacific Standard Time. Hey, did any of you catch that stream last night for Tori's birthday? That was so nice. They invited me to come on and tell her happy birthday. I got to be one of the first ones to do it. And then Nora went on after me. And I was kind of pissed about it. I was like, why didn't they put us on together? I would have loved to have gone on with Nora. Um, love you, Trace. Uh, yeah, Mother Revenge. I love streaming with Nora. I got to be honest though, I also love streaming with Lindsay. Lindsay is like a whole other form of like I love Lindsay because they both speak my language. Lindsay will deep dive with me into anything. Nora's I feel like Lindsay and I are on the same level. Nora's above it. Nora's above my level. Like Nora's a little bit smarter. She's okay. So D also is an organized lesbian. Nora is just a little more out of my league as far as it's like, damn, like what she just did there. She was like, absolutely, what time? Putting it in my calendar now. Like she's just a little more like, I hope to be that way one day, but it's probably never going to happen. Um, she's just a little bit above me as far as like she's super Nora's and this is not that Lindsay isn't. I just feel like Lindsay and I are on the same page. Nora's like super fucking intelligent and like she can juggle 50 balls at once. That was not the proper choice of words, was it? As that came out, I heard it come out. Nora's not juggling balls. She's gay. Hey, Marty Jewel. Thank you, Marty Jewel. Very patriotic. She's very smart. She's balancing things. Juggling. She's juggling bowling pins. Is that better? Yeah. I heard it as it came out and I was like, "Oh, poor choice of words." That was yeah. You have to be a lesbian to be that smart. I did not know this. Wow. I didn't know that. Well, that's truth. You have to take that for truth right there because that's from our therapist. Yeah. Lindsay. Lindsay's still in here. Lindsay, I feel like you and I like can talk for 10 hours and we're on the same page and I understand what you're saying. Nora is not on the same level as me because she'll start going places and I'm like looking up words and I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what she's talking about because she's so much smarter than me. Like she's talking like Nora knew all about the Holocaust. And I was like, stop talking about smart things like history. I don't know. Like she knows about geography and shit. Now, Lindsay, you probably do too, but we don't talk about that. Okay, Lindsay, good. I'm like, I hope this doesn't hurt Lindsay's feelings. I feel like Lindsay and I bounce off of each other nicely. Nora is just this like lesbian that's like running circles around me. And I'm like, why do lesbians run circles around you? Is it the extra flaps? Does she pick up speed because of her vagina? She's been out a lot longer. That would make more sense than her vaginal flaps. I'm so disorganized and straight. So that's the thing. Yeah, I don't feel that organized and I'm not gay. As a matter of fact, there's my man now. There he is. And he knows how many flaps I have, don't you? You know what that's about, don't you? You like to get it. And I know why. Tight. Tight. It's tight. Yeah, it's her magical lesbian cooter. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I really would like to have this conversation specifically with Nora. And I need to find out some things. Lindsay, I would love to have a conversation with you as well, but I have to have this conversation, hey, fanciest face, with Nora because Nora is an ex Scientologist. And I don't know if you guys know, I too am an ex Scientologist. My name's Reese, and I'm an ex Scientologist, and Nora is too. Reese, hiccups means Marilyn will say you've been drinking. Yes, I love that I'm going to have a new addiction this week. Spiced at the end. I should stop by this. Hey, tired Madge. Uh, so tomorrow, we don't know when we'll be here, but we'll be here. I don't know if it'll be earlier in the afternoon. My guess is, thanks, Linz. My guess is it'll be later. I'm thinking I'll probably stream around 6 o'clock tomorrow if I had to guess because of my father's birthday. Um, I know I felt it too, Lindsay. I felt like we were at an AA meeting when you said that. I just really love, love, love. There's something very therapeutic that I don't hate. Time Mark. There's something very therapeutic that I don't expect you guys to understand. But when I get to have a conversation with an ex Scientologist that I like, and there are none except Nora, um, magic happens for me. I feel like it heals me in a lot of ways. She understands me in ways that a lot of people don't. My name is Tommy, and I have a problem. Well, it's a problem every man wishes they had, babe. That thing is like a piece of farming equipment. You should be proud of it. Don't call it a problem. It's not a problem. Every time I look at Jeff the bull outside, I'm like, Tommy? Oh, no, never mind. You know what I mean. Speaking of balls, tight. Yeah. You don't have to explain the basics. Exactly, Sophia. Uh Did someone say Jabba got her wrench back? Marilyn the Hut? I guess she did. I don't know if it was ever taken away from her, though, to be fair. Well, I love Hal, and Hal loves me. I love Hal. He's got such a kind face. Hal just looks like such a nice guy. He's so approachable. He probably isn't, but he looks like he is. But he could be. And he's nice to me, and that's all that matters. Um, Boy, this really kind of went off the rails. I don't remember what we talked about, but it was a good stream. I feel like this was a solid stream. It was tight, like my vagina. I don't know if you know, Tommy is a vagenius. He is a magician when it comes to that. And it is magic. It's the sweet spot. Fucking crazy, Armine. No, I really want to have this conversation with our lesbian friend Nora. I want to tune in with her. I want to know what the lesbians are saying about it. I want to know why lesbians are so organized, and maybe she can just give us some tips on that, right? Maybe she can give us straight people some tips on how to be more organized. Hey, let's get off that nasty troll. I personally would not get on it in the first place, but hey, coming from you, that's saying a lot because you've boned a lot of people. I actually was, you know what I said to Tommy the other day, and I said this in our Zoom call. I was like, why is Marilyn going after you so hard? And then it dawned on me. And I said, holy shit, you're from Vermont. She's from Vermont. I was like, did you bone her and you don't realize it? Or like, did you bone her sister? Or like, did she try to bone you and you didn't bone her back? Like, did you reject her and you fucked everything else? Like you slept with like all 15 of her friends except her. Like, I wonder if maybe that happened. Maybe she got rejected by him, or maybe they did bone. He doesn't remember it, but she sure does, because that's a lot of swing and peen. And it was probably more peen that she could handle, because it's a lot of peen to handle. Not just anyone can handle it. Please tell me this isn't a scripture. It's always at the right time. But thank you, Abigail. Hey, Paula D. She wants that D. Excuse me. Two people are better off than one. Yeah, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. Two people lying close together can keep each other warm. Wow, that's a Bible scripture. Babe, did you see this? I like that. That makes me think of us, because we do cuddle and keep each other warm. and we help each other succeed. Abigail, that's very perfect. And I like it. I like it a lot. Old Testament. Thank you for the super chats tonight, Abigail. Um, yeah, it's really a nice, it's as far as it's, yeah, it's good. And then knee, tight, tight. You have to use a shoehorn to get it in. It's a fact. It's a small fact that not very many people know. But you have to it requires a shoehorn. Yeah, it's a factoid just of the day. True. Neptune says it depends on the two who the two are, but like the story I told about me and Tommy today that he missed, and I'm glad he did. It's important to know that we went from where we were to where we are now. And that is an act of God. And I believe that. I realize I spent a lot of the 80s partying my ass off, but I'm fairly confident I would have remembered Meryl Barrow. Tommy calls her Meryl Barrow because she looks like she dragged her face through an ashtray. She actually looks like if an ashtray were a human, she looks like an ashtray from the 80s sitting next to a slot machine in a gas station. So, hence why we call her Meryl Barrow. So you partied your ass off, but you're confident you would have remembered. I don't know that you would have. I don't know that you would have. I think there's a chance that maybe you slept with, the entire women's volleyball team and she was, on it and you didn't bone her. Like maybe she wasn't there that day. But I think you probably got down with all of her friends. And that's what I'm worried about because let's be honest, too. Vermont is like Montana and Wyoming. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's only 7 people that live in Vermont. And there's 7 people. No, there's 8 people in Wyoming. And I think there's around 10. We're up to double digits in Montana. But Tommy boned every single one of them. I know I was trying to be nice, Lindsay, but I knew you'd call that shit out. So yeah, there's that. I think I saw The Empire Strikes Back. I wouldn't remember Meryl the Hutt. Well, what if she wasn't always ugly? What if she didn't look like an ashtray back then? What if she looked like a pack of smokes? And then she morphed into the ashtray. There's a lot of what ifs. I got a lot of questions about it. But what I'm wondering is simply this. She's so obsessed with you. And I just think, what if she walked by a locker room? Did you guys go to the same school? What if she walked by your locker room and saw your peripheral peen? And she's been pissed about it ever since. And it was like 40 years ago and she never got over it. So she went to your hometown and she was like, maybe he'll be there. Maybe he'll choose me over Reese and we'll get down and do the hibbity dibbity. Beth, you grew up near Vermont. Is there a chance that you slept with Tommy? Pretty much everybody slept with Tommy. Like I'm just another notch on the old belt. No, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because he's had plenty of experience and then he met me and he was like, damn, tight. He said he didn't sleep with you. It wasn't me, Beth. Well, you wouldn't know, babe. You were partying. I'm just wondering if there's some correlation here that like maybe she found out, that you slept with her sister. You dropped a house on her sister. Maybe T, there's a chance of that. Probably not. I'm sure she's always been ugly. Thank you so much for being here. This really, thanks. Abdazzle says you're the last notch. This really went south and I couldn't apologize more, but this happens almost every day. So I also would just be apologizing every day. And that's silly. I know Armine. She has a sister. I don't know if she has a sister. What if she has a sister? What if you boned her sister? That could have happened. What if that happened? Yeah, Tommy has skills, serious skills, Sophia. Beth has a sister too. So you might have slept with Beth and Marilyn's sisters. Okay. This really went out. This got crazy. Babe, I'll see you on your stream. I'll be modding for you. Hey, SoCal Joy. And we're going to do something with Nora on Thursday. Please hit subscribe while you're in here. Every single time I end a stream, every single fucking time I end a stream, you guys unsubscribe. Let's see. Yep, I've lost 3 subs since I started this. Can somebody please hit subscribe? Can you guys quit dicking around? Otherwise, it's just the way of the Lord. Not going to worry about it. Not going to freak out. Um, Sorry, Hanman. Okay, Lindsay's going live soon too. Okay, I love that, Linz. I'm a mod for both of your channels. How funny is that? I will be back on tomorrow. I just don't know when because tomorrow's my father's birthday. This was a good stream until the last 30 minutes and then it tanked like it always does. I will be here Thursday with Nora. Friday is Tommy's birthday, everybody. He's going to be 15 years older than me for, thanks, Abigail, for 5 days. There's 5 days a year. He goes at 8:05, Lindsay. There's 5 days a year that Tommy is 15 years older than me instead of 14 because our birthdays are 5 days apart. Helena, strike one. So that's exciting. His birthday's Friday. We'll do a stream Friday. I agree, SoCal Joe. I would love that. Love you, Jen. Love you, Hal. I love Jen and Hal. Thank you, Buffy. And please hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the hype button. This was a good stream. I stand by it. I know that the wheels fell off, but before that, it was great. Did you show off your watch? I did not. No one said anything, so I didn't say anything. But maybe at some point they'll notice and say something. I didn't want to give stuff for the haters, babe. Erica, I love you, and I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy for your daughter. That was such a pretty wedding. Wish I could have seen it in real life. Linda Garden Lady, I love you. Babe, don't worry. We have our whole lives to show it. The red one, no. Tommy didn't get me a watch. No, Abigail, don't apologize. I love your scriptures. Tommy did not get me a watch. He sent me home. I actually forgot about it. I haven't thought about it until he brought it up in my stream yesterday. Tommy sent me home with a watch box. I thought it was a watch box for my birthday, the last time I was there. And I had forgotten that we looked at this. We looked at it a couple of trips back. And basically, I am not your regular kind of gal when it comes to, what would you call that? Conventional? Like I don't like things that everyone else is doing. So I forgot about this and he surprised me with it. And it's amazing because it's for my birthday and my birthday are rubies. My birthstone is rubies. And he said, if you could have any kind of ring to wear, what would you like? And I said, well, I don't want to wear a wedding ring. I don't want to wear a ring. Like, I don't want to do any of that. And we went and looked in Ecuador. They have some really nice jewelry stores, actually. And we went and looked, and this was a while back. I had forgotten about it. We went and looked, and I found some rings, and I said, that's what I would wear. And he said, really? And I said, yeah, I would wear rubies or emeralds or something. I don't want just diamonds. I don't like that. So he sent me home, and I thought it was a watch. I've had this watch. But he let me open it for my birthday last night, and it's absolutely stunning. I haven't taken it off, and I can't stop looking at it. But it's a set of ruby rings that I had looked at way back, and it's just really pretty. And that is my style. I don't really like big, fat, gaudy diamond rings because I've already done that 100 times. And I also like that it's my birthstone, but I like that it's flat, it's easy. But yeah, it's really, it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's also just, I think it's very subtle and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Just feels like me. I just really like it. I can't believe that he got the band with it because that's just, I don't know why. I took them apart today and wore them separate, and I just absolutely love that band, that little skinny band with it. But I love rubies, and I'm not sure I'll ever take this off. It just means a lot to me, and it speaks to me. I also love it because that's also Tommy's birthstone. So it's both of our birthstones, and I just feel so close to him wearing it, and I love it. I think it's just really, really pretty. I showed it to my mom, and she said, that looks like a queen's ring. And I said, I don't think I'm ever going to take it off. Saved me a watch. Shut up. But I had forgot we even went and looked at it. Ecuador has way cheaper jewelry. Everything's cheaper there. And there's a really cool jewelry store that's close by. And we went and looked, and I said, that's kind of more me. That's more my style. I just like a flat band, nothing too crazy. Tommy got it for me for my birthday. And yeah, fanciest face, it's our birthstone. And you guys know me, I'm very sentimental. Oh, I love that Marty Jewel. And I love that it's from him. I love that it's something from him. And it's a pop of red too. I like that it's a pop of red. I don't know. I have been staring at it all day. Why so shy to show it off? Flash that ring, girl. Because I get so tired of the hate and the shit that people make up and twist and turn. And it's just for us, it's for me. And I didn't want to be like, hey, everybody, right? But I love it so much. And I was shocked. I thought it was a watch. That's why I kind of forgot about it. He sent me home with it and was like, open this on your birthday. And I was like, okay, it's another watch, which I love watches, but I just thought I don't need another watch. And he brought it up on the stream yesterday, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I haven't opened that. And it was this. And I was like, oh, my holy shit. So thank you, honey. And it's just beautiful. I looked at it with you so long ago that I had forgotten about it, but it feels like me. So thank you. I say that out loud. You don't need another watch. No, I said no. When I come down there for our birthdays, I expect another watch. You know which one. I already picked it out. Fuck the haters. Be proud and be happy. Don't let them take your joy. Thank you, Joanne Holly. I just feel like I get so tired. Like, I don't want to even like show off a new pair of socks because I just feel like people are like, see, she's a grifter. She's this, she's that, right? Leon Joy, I love this frame. These are the exact same ones I have in black. So I just wear it's the exact same frame I wear all the time, but the red ones. I just get tired of people being like, oh, you got something new, huh? You shouldn't be entitled to have anything new. I just get sick of that shit. And so, but they can, yeah, I mean, eventually it was going to get seen. I don't think I'm ever going to take it off. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So it's caused by the Clearly Canadian incident. And remember when we bought the fancy bread at the farmer's market? We bought an $8 loaf of bread. People really flipped out. Remember when I ate 7 pieces of candy corn on camera? Lost a lot of fucking subs over that. Remember when Bo ate 2 packs of bagels from Costco? A lot of people lost their minds. It's funner when you're happy. Thank you, Leon Joy. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is super meaningful, and I love it so much. And like I said, I've been staring at it all day. I just love it. I'm shocked. I am blown away that that was sitting there in a case that I thought was a watch. And it's so me. I just love it so much. I love that it's rubies. It's a pop of red, but it's also his birthstone. Yeah, everything's cheaper in Ecuador, which is nice. Really nice. You could be dirt poor and they will still talk shit. I am poor. I live in a trailer. They remember how they like to say I make like $200,000 a year on super chats. I wish that were true. To be honest, I would love for that to happen, but that's not true. Yeah, Marty Jewel. It's just one more thing to add to the list of people to be like, oh, see, I get tired of it. It's like, I'd rather not share my joy. Just never mind. Although my joy was my therapy session today too. I like to share nuggets of things I learn. I don't care as much about stuff, but this is something I will treasure and cherish forever. Let's give them something to talk about. Absolutely. I don't care. I can take it. It just gets old. People, hey, Styro, that care about you will celebrate your happiness and joy. And those are the people I'm loyal to, Styro. To be honest, I'm loyal to the people who come in here and are loyal to me. I love it on you. Feel free to hate. Thank you, babe. Let them eat bread. I love carbs. Jules, that's hilarious. Guys, I'm excited about Thursday with Nora. Friday, I'm going to stream with Tommy on our other channel for his birthday, of course. And I will be back tomorrow, probably a little bit later, like 6 my time, if I had to guess. But I could be wrong. Again, I don't know my dad's birthday schedule yet. You guys have come so far together. That means so much more than most can comprehend. We have. And again, I've come far on my channel. I've come far with my friends here, and you can't take that away. And that's what they hate. They're pissed about that, and you can't take it away. So that's all this is about, is actual growth. And meanwhile, people who hate us, are not willing to grow. They're not willing to change, to adapt. They're not, or self-reflect. And those, for that reason, are NPCs, non-player characters. They're not even really real. They're the dragon that jumps out in the Mario game and you just got to run past, just scurry past it, just blow through it, because they're not going to bring anything to the table. They don't bring any wisdom. They don't bring any growth, any love. They just want to be nasty. Those are non-player characters. I love it. I love that little nugget of wisdom. All right, Marissa Martin, love you, girl. Mods, thank you for being here. Please hit subscribe on your way out. Please hit the like button, the hype button. I'll go see Tommy and Lindsay. I'm guessing Lindsay is going to be going on soon, and then Tommy will be on in an hour and a half. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for the super chats. I mean it. That helps me a ton. Rue, if you're still here, it was really good to see you again. Jamie, I talked about it in this stream. I learned about it recently, and I talked about it in therapy today. Thank you, Jess. Tell your dad happy birthday from me. That's so sweet. Baby steps. Thank you for the super chat, and I will. Thank you, Joanne Hawley. Good night, everyone. Good night, Alicia. Love you too, Abigail. Thank you for the scriptures tonight, Abigail. That was very helpful. All right, mods, thank you for what you do in protecting us. And I mean it, guys. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for the super chats. I will see everyone tomorrow. And here comes Fred.